Hey guys, it's Lauren Yates from Rave It Up here, and today I'm privileged to be with an amazing new find that you have to get onto right now, an amazing band called Evadaze. I'm here with Becky Shortt from Evadaze.
Hi Lauren.
How are you going? Welcome.
Going so well. I'm really pumped to just jam with you a bit.
Oh, jam. Maybe rave it up a
Yeah,
little bit?
rave it up.
Now you know why I named it that. Now, for a lot of our audience, this might be the first time that they've heard of you.
Yeah.
So everyone can go check out their songs on Spotify and also your website, evadaze.com.
That's the one.
Everything's on there. It's a fantastic website, by the way. It's really cool.
Thank you.
Something I love about your voice, Becky, is that you sound just like Taylor Swift. Is that deliberate?
Oh my gosh.
I was just like, this is something that Taylor could sing.
All right.
Or you could totally outdo her, either one.
Listen, big compliment, and I've also heard it before, and I never heard it myself, but I do hear that a lot. And you know, she's got those pop sensibilities, which I love, and it's like a bit breathy and sometimes a bit sexy, and so I'm taking that as a huge compliment.
Oh, it is. It's
yeah.
huge.
Thank
So you can't really hear it yourself when you hear
I
back.
don't really hear it myself, although somebody did once play it back to me and was like, come on. I'm like, maybe
You
a
can't
little.
see the Taylor
Yeah.
Swift reference here.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you very much. I take that as a compliment and
You
something
are
people can relate to.
welcome. Oh yeah, now everybody kind of knows the sort of vibe of your sound as well, and what you'll sound like when they listen to you.
Nice.
So Evadaze was, started back in 2014
Yeah.
with you and Wayne Keys. Is that how you
Yes,
pronounce
yes,
his name?
that's right,
The
that's right.
producer. So you
Yes.
formed the group back then, but how did you guys meet originally? Was it around that same time?
Yes, okay, so it was kind of interesting. So I was briefly in another band, and then we kind of went our own ways, but the singer, after she formed another band, recommended Wayne to me. And at the exact same time, I was looking online for the perfect producer for the sound that I wanted, and I found him as well. And then by the time
Everything
I
happens for a reason.
By the time I had the phone call with him, I realized it was the same person my friend was talking about this whole time. And so I
Wow.
really do feel like it was meant to be. And
Sweet goosebumps.
all I heard was him playing the piano, and it was so incredible. I was just like, I need to work with this person, because I could feel it.
Yeah.
So it feels like fate.
You just met and then was just jamming out straight away?
We were
and-
writing like off the bat, just like pumping out song after song after song.
Wow.
And we have never run out of ideas together.
Wow. Was the other band's same sort of genre of
It
music
was a
or
little bit
different?
different. So it was probably a little bit more indie, still with some pop sensibilities because I was
Okay.
doing the writing, but it was a little bit darker. And then when Wayne and I started working together, it became a lot more electro-pop. And I was having a lot of fun with it. He could do so much with the keys and with the sounds. And then, yeah, I guess because of our respective influences, it just kind of became what it was. And it became, pretty fun.
How did you find like the whole journey of finding your sound together? Was it a bit of a ride?
It's actually really strange because Wayne and I have really different taste in terms of music. So
You butt your heads a little bit?
Yeah, well, it's really interesting because we have a similar taste for what sounds good. So we know what sounds good, but in terms of our influences, our styles, we're kind of different. So we are really united by certain sounds that we like, or certain songs. So I think when we both found The Weeknd, we were like, we both love it.
Yeah.
That was sort of like one of the things that kind of we're like, we know we both love this and could get into it. But I think finding our sound, we were even talking about this last night when we were writing again, we're just like, sometimes we know if I love it and you love it, and even if if we're not sure at the beginning, somehow it turns into an amazing song. Because
And then we just shy away from everything else?
yeah, kind of. We just kind of bring our own thing to it, and then somehow it ends up really great. It's really
fantastic.
strange. We have very different tastes.
I do
but
like
it
the
works.
whole electro-pop thing, and you guys have just made it work and sound freaking amazing.
Thank you. Yeah. Sometimes we hear it like, whoa, this sounds so big, but like so emotive at the same time. But like a lot of familiar elements, like you'd hear, like say for example, in like a Taylor Swift song.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got definitely that pop
Especially
vibe.
with her new sound now. It's kind of down her
definitely.
path. That's
Yeah.
why I was like, this isn't Taylor Swift. It
Definitely.
says Evadaze.
yeah. Anything that's like in line with something she's doing, I'm like, whoop, that's a compliment.
Yeah, well, I think you guys are going to go so far. I like believe in you so much. We're hearing your songs on like, Today FM, Kiss FM, like before
can't
we know
wait.
it, hopefully.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed for you guys.
Yes, I'm feeling soon, yes.
And why did you name the band Evadaze? Is
All
there a cool story behind this?
Not that cool. Well, okay. All right, I will tell
Gotta
you.
hype it up
All
there,
right.
Becky. It's an amazing story.
Okay, well, I will tell you something like a little bit, it's sort of weirdly personal, but I'll share it anyway. So I remember when I was younger, I really wanted to make a difference in the world. And I remember thinking, oh, you know, I never knew if I could have both. Like, I never knew if I'd have kids and also do something really big that might make that more difficult in some way. And so I was like, no matter what happens in life, whether I have babies or not, I always thought I was going to name a baby girl Eva.
Aww.
And so I was like, in my creative project, the creative baby, I really wanted to have Eva
it's
in
like
there.
your baby.
Yeah. And then we just brainstormed a few ideas, and because a lot of the songs were a little bit like introspective, the word days kind of came up, and Wayne's like, yeah, he was really feeling that. So that's sort of how it came up. Yeah. And it's pronounced Evadaze.
And it's with a Z.
Yeah, yeah, Evadaze
You
with
gotta
a
be
Z.
cool and hip like that, don't you? Gotta put the Z in.
Yeah.
It's not spelled days normally.
Yeah, so that's like, it's kind of actually a really sweet story as well. And you know, who knows what will happen in the future, but I'll remember this as like our creative baby.
I think you're really proving you can do it all, so might as well, you know, add the
thank
baby
you.
into there. Yeah.
I really believe in having both and all and everything, and that it's
Exactly.
sustainable if you do it and you know why you're doing it.
It's not an either-or world, right?
Yeah.
You can have it all.
I agree.
It might just be a little bit harder to balance it all, but
harder
I
to
think
balance, take longer, and I think a big rule, like for us, is like, you know, we give things time, even in a world where everyone's like now. It's like we're okay to give it time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Us women, we can do it all.
Yeah,
Of course
hell
we
yeah.
can.
Hell yeah.
So technically we should be calling it Evadaze?
Well, we
or-
call it Evadaze, like
Yeah.
we like that pronunciation. But in my head, I know that was a little Eva in there.
Yeah. Aw. Well, if you end up having a little Eva,
Yeah, it will
that'll
be.
just be
I know. Hopefully,
like the
it
best
bolsters
present
it.
for her.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you guys are also recording at the iconic Electric Sun
Yes.
Studios in Western Sydney, where a lot of amazing artists have recorded there.
Yeah.
How's that been? Do you like feel like the history coming out of those walls?
Yeah, definitely. But at the same time, it's really chill because, you know, it's kind of our home. Like, we've got like our own little key. So when you,
Aw.
sometimes when the band's
We feel
there
like it's
recording,
ours, yeah.
I know, I'm just like, open it up and go to our room upstairs, and it's great. But I know like bands like Tonight Alive record there, and
That's amazing.
like Cursor, who's like this iconic Australian rapper,
Rapper,
as well.
yeah.
Yeah. So we have a lot of interesting people coming and going. But you know, basically it's just like our music home, our writing space. So yeah, and we kind of, you know, basically keep to ourselves doing the work.
So have you met any of those artists yet, or
I've met
seen them from a distance?
Yeah, I've met members of Tonight Alive, and I haven't met Cursor yet. And
maybe one day?
I feel like I'd be a little starstruck, maybe.
So you'd be like, gotta go this way, otherwise I might embarrass
I'll
myself.
run up those stairs.
Yeah.
No, I'd love to meet.
Okay, well there you go. Hopefully, fingers
hopefully.
crossed for you, putting it out into the universe.
Yes.
Now, I want to chat about some of your tracks. Your debut
Yeah.
track in 2018 was your song Friends.
Yeah.
And it could be considered, you know, a friend zone anthem. And when I was listening to it, it kind of brought back like memories of like when you're in school and like you really want them, but you can't. So you're like, okay, fine, we'll just be friends. Like, I guess I gotta live with that.
Oh, man.
Is this based on a true story at all for you and Wayne?
Oh, well.
I think we've all been friend zoned, right?
Oh, absolutely. Like, so for me, I remember actually writing this song when my car was being serviced, because you know when you get your car
Interesting
serviced,
time to write.
Yeah, and it's just going to be forever. So I was just there writing the song, and yeah, I just like had that, you know, that chorus, that first line. You have to listen to it yourself.
Yes, everyone check it
can't
out,
say
Spotify.
Bit explicit, but I remember, yeah, just like that melody came to my head with those words, and that first line, like, you give me a sign and I act like I'm blind, because it's that way of that awkward situation where you know somebody likes you, you like them back, and yet you're so scared of what happens next that you kind of act like it's not happening, ignore it, and then kick yourself later. And I think like everyone relates to that feeling of just,
Especially in school, right?
Oh,
yeah,
big
you're like,
time.
ooh, I think he likes me.
yeah, I was having all the flashbacks to my time back at school, and like all those little niggly moments that you go home and you're just like, oh, cringe. Yeah, it's ultimate cringe
Lots of them,
song.
yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I think, yeah, it is a bit of a friend zone anthem.
It is.
Yeah.
So everyone check that one out.
Yeah.
And you've also got the 2019 release, which was Wandering Eyes. And, you know, this is a bit of a tongue-in-cheek, you know, heart on the sleeve commentary of, you know, on social media and the phenomenon of never feeling good enough. boy, do we agree with that, right? Especially with Instagram now. But it's apparently a bit of inspiration from your partner is a photographer and always taking photos of,
Yes.
nearly naked women. So
Our house is filled with beautiful models all the time.
Wow, okay. I don't know what I should say to that.
Well,
how does that make you feel?
I'm a very confident woman.
Okay,
Number
good.
one. But at the same time, I do feel that little pang sometimes because we are surrounded by beautiful people, and I know even my husband is almost hardwired to look for attractive women because of modeling and just
That's a weird job, isn't it? Look for all the good-looking women.
And
there she is.
And he's incredible.
As long as he keeps remembering that.
He does, yeah. I feel like he definitely notices my beauty and reassures me and all of that. Not that I really need it, but Wandering Eyes did come from the fact that a lot of the time we put people on a pedestal because of their beauty, and it literally doesn't matter, the talent, the contribution in different ways. Like our filter is, are you beautiful, therefore you're worthy of us looking up to. So I really wanted to write a song about the fact that in social media sometimes we like to project ourselves as being perfect or beautiful through the filters, and we just have to remember that we can't compare ourselves, how we feel on the inside to how people look on the outside. Yeah.
Well, I think a really good question that I just thought of, and I think we can both relate to it with being in this industry.
Yeah.
It's really all about the looks, isn't it? When you're singing on stage, when you've got your social media photos posted up, you're using filters, and I try not to, but things like that. You can Photoshop now and everything. How have you found with being in the industry? And I know that you're still getting your name out there, but how have you found it so far with trying to, I guess, prove yourself that you're more than just a pretty face? You've got amazing talent behind you. You're a beautiful soul. Loved her ever since I started talking to you. I was like, I feel that positive, beautiful energy, just such an angel. But how have you found that? Because I know I've found it really difficult over the years.
Yeah, I know for me, one thing that I always work on, and when I say I work on it, it means I think about it a lot, and I try to sort of reprogram my brain in terms of how I think about it. But I'm very, very, very conscious of, whether I'm using how I look to add a bit of punch to a post in some way. And when I do it, I like to be a bit ironic about it, but I'm like, is it ironic, or do I really feel like I need to look a certain way? I know even when it comes to not just about how you look, how attractive you are, because the truth is there are plenty of successful people with a lot of talent who are not conventionally attractive. And it's not to say that they're not gorgeous and beautiful and everything, but they break the mold, they break the archetype. And so I always like to look for evidence of the opposite. So it's okay if I don't look cookie cutter beautiful. It's okay if I grow old doing music. And so I always try to look for evidence of the opposite. And even if there isn't too much, I always say I'm willing to be a trailblazer. I'm willing to be myself and accept the fallout of being myself. Even if it means I'm a bit different or can't be as beautiful all the time, can't be as perfect. And they're the sort of things I say to myself to hype myself up. But it is a very, image conscious industry, and it's fun to play when it's play. And then if it starts to hurt, it's like, okay, how can I make this my own? What can I change? Do I have to do it this way? And I think it's going to fall apart if I'm not perfect, and just questioning it.
I love that answer. Gosh, come on the show anytime. That was amazing. I was like, okay, wow.
It was a good question.
Thank you. Well, I thought that's something we can definitely relate to, and I've had, some other female singers on, and they do find it very difficult as well, and also in the world of haters as well, and oh, you're not beautiful, or you are, and you're just using the sex appeal to sell something.
Definitely.
And it's sad that the world has gotten like that. But
I know I personally I guess one of my little frustrations is when you do see people you're trying to share a song or a talent, and then you get those DMs, people sliding up hi,
Oh,
how are
God.
you? I'm like,
Sleazy.
I don't know you.
Yeah.
What exactly do you
Go
want?
away.
Like, start with a compliment about the music.
Yeah, exactly. I'm about my music.
Yeah.
Not how I look on social
Yeah.
media.
So I feel that. It's a good question.
Oh, thank you very much. Because I love your like the single covers as well, like the beautiful photos to
Thank
promote
you.
the songs. Are they all you in those photos as well?
Yeah, so not all of them. So the Close to You cover, that's another person. But Wandering Eyes, that's something I took. Actually, my husband did that as a test shoot
About to
for
ask,
another
are they
model.
all his photos?
He did it as a test shoot, in fact, and then I chucked a wig on because I'm like, well, if you're going to do a test shoot on me, we're going to make it for something.
I love the
And-
wig. It looks so good.
Yeah, and we had some like coloured gels, and it was just it was working. So I knew that had to be the cover of something. And yeah, same with the magnetic and
Magnetic
and
was so
Chains as
sexy,
well.
that cover. I was
Yeah.
like, woo!
Thank you. That classic red dress. I don't know if you know the brand Wheels and Doll Baby, but yeah, look them up.
They're also
amazing.
very creative. They go with the song,
Oh,
which I
thank
really
you.
like as well. I
Thank
was like,
you.
okay,
That's cool, yeah.
Like Runaway, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the same sort of thing. Like the
Backpacks and all
picture of the
that.
backpack and the heels. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, it just goes with it.
I know, make a bit of an effort for these ones, and maybe one day we'll be a bit more random and abstract, when
Who
we're really
knows?
famous and can do what we want.
Exactly. Oh, it's coming, baby. It's coming.
Yeah, yeah.
What's a little bit more artistic and out there and unique instead of just putting, say, a photo of you and Wayne.
Yeah,
up,
yeah,
like a lot of
definitely.
other artists do, but
Yeah.
go with the theme of the song.
Yeah, we try to.
Yeah.
It's
Keep
all about
doing
the
that. I
vibe.
love it.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome. Now, you did ask me, went over the phone when we were like organizing this. She's like, listen to all the songs, which I was going to do anyway. But you're like, let me know your favorite.
I'm
My
interested.
favorite is definitely Magnetic. Do you know how many times I've listened to it
Oh,
since we
really?
talked? I love that song.
I'm so glad you love it. It's the latest one, and
It
I
is
feel
so
like
catchy.
I love that melody so much, and that I think the production's great. There are so many things I love about it, but it is catchy as hell.
It is. I'm like, this needs to get on commercial radio.
Yeah.
This is a hit.
We've heard that quite a few times, so I'm glad you love it, because
You're just
whenever
going
there's-
up and up from here now, babe.
I think so, and one of the struggles sometimes with writing is that we literally feel like our next song is our best song. So even after we release Magnetic, we're like, yeah, we love Magnetic, but you should hear our next one.
It's like, what else we got? Yeah, in the tank.
So it's always good when somebody likes something we've released. So yeah, no, thank you.
I'm excited about the next release then, if you're
Oh
saying
my
it's
goodness,
better.
it's a collab as well. So I'm not going to say too much now, but
okay.
I will loop you in really soon.
You know what's going to happen,
I'll show you a
though.
cheeky preview later.
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah.
But you know what's going to happen?
What?
You're going to have to come back on the show and talk about it when it gets
I think I can live with
released.
that.
I think you can live with
love
that. I think.
I already
think
love
you
this
can.
vibe. Rave it up.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, tell everybody.
I will.
Now, on the other side, of all your music, it's already keeping you so busy. But also you guys have, different side jobs as well.
Yes,
I think
yes.
we all really do in this industry, don't we? We're all like our side hustles.
Yes.
So Wayne is one of Australia's most sought after audio-visual experts.
Yes.
I know Wayne isn't here today, but could you fill us in what exactly that is
Oh
and
my
what he
goodness.
does?
Like, as an example, like one of the largest corporations in Australia, I don't even know in terms of security if I can even disclose what this is. So I don't want him to kill me here.
a business, yes?
Yeah, so they'll get him in and he'll redo all the sound system, say there might be voice memos that need to happen, emergency, I don't know, just any audio that needs to be installed, any visuals, it can be a restaurant chain, or it could be as big as the airport, it could just be, yeah. And he
Could be even ads we see in the cinema and stuff like that. That's really cool.
Literally anything, he's the man, and he was working I think in a business for quite some time with other people, and he basically was able to fly solo because he was that valuable. And that was a
Damn.
huge step for him. So I'm just like, yes.
How does he even have time to do music?
Well, he's a night owl.
Okay, so he doesn't sleep, in other words. All right.
He is one of the, he could sleep for 2 hours and be rejuvenated more than anyone I know. He's amazing.
2 hours.
Well,
Please don't tell.
I might be exaggerating.
Please tell me he gets more than 2 hours a night.
I think he probably does, but I swear,
Wow.
he functions really late at night.
He probably has these mini naps or something.
Something like that,
20-minute power naps.
Yeah.
Just close your eyes.
I know
and-
when it hits 10 p.m. I'm like, all right, see you later, bedtime.
Yeah, me too.
Bedtime for Becky.
I've had enough. Yep.
Yeah.
Probably even earlier. I'm like, yeah, I need to start getting ready for bed. I'm tired.
Yes, feels there.
And then get up early, Not that I was ever really a morning person, but I'm starting to get there. It's been hard because
Yeah,
I used to be the night owl too. But,
I know.
But now I'm like, nah, I'm good.
It's a struggle morning.
So I'm such an old soul. Now I'm like getting to be a grandma and need to go to bed early. Yeah,
it's meant to be better for you.
Exactly. That is very true.
Meant to be better.
We're
It's
not
healthy.
supposed to really stay up, past 10. And
Yeah,
we
that's
need to
right.
get up when the sun gets up.
Yeah, if we're making a difference in
Maybe
this world.
not that early, but yeah.
Oh gosh, I wish, man, I could do that.
Yeah, the sun, goes up a bit too early for me. All right. And you are also, I've already told you, you're an amazing woman. For those who don't know, Becky is a 2-time world and multinational karate title holder. Oh my goodness. Please tell us more, because I read your bio and it said that you were like teaching karate since you were 16.
Yeah,
That's quite young. Like you're still in school. And
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was like such a big lesson in confidence, and also just how you can make a difference to people like a lot older than you as well. I remember that really blowing my mind, that I was like, oh my God, all these adults are listening to me and I'm helping them with their fitness goals and self-defense, and like we'd run these like
self-confidence.
That's
too,
right, confidence,
yeah.
all that, and like from little kids all the way up to, I think my oldest student was 60 something.
Oh wow.
And it was a really cool experience. So that was very empowering, and just being entrusted to do that. And I've been training in karate all the way up until last year. I haven't done it for about a year now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And every now and then I teach a class, or I help somebody, or they send me videos and they want advice. But I remember just because of my workload, I've got a few more clients this year with the other work that I do, and
Which
I
I'm
just
about to bring
thought,
up, yeah.
and I just thought, I'm going to create a bit more space. I've been training at the gym and just
Yeah.
sort of like learning about the muscles in my body and all that as well. So I kind of mixed it up. But yeah, once I got into competing, it was really fun. I remember being really scared, but one day I was just like, I can do this. And then I went and I joined the national squad and really went for it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Well, world title
Turns
holder.
out you can step up.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. You're an amazing role model for everybody out there.
Yeah, a bit of
Not
something.
just when it comes to music, but just, it's fantastic to also see, especially, with the Me Too movement and everything like that a woman is going out there and doing it. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And like honestly, I reckon every single woman should learn self-defense at some point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree with that too.
Even where I live, just there's like a walk down like a dark alleyway if I want to go to the shops, and as I walk there, I truly feel like I'm equipped to deal
you
with
can
something
handle
if
it.
it was going to happen. And I don't walk around believing it will, but I just feel really good, and I feel really grateful when I do that. I'm like, wow, I feel safe now.
Yeah.
And I know I would not have if I hadn't done self-defense.
Yeah, it's not like you always need a man or a bodyguard with you all the time.
That's right.
You can
That's
handle
right.
it yourself.
Yes.
I love it. It's fantastic. And you're also a very smart woman. I was reading in your bio that you've trained in
I did not say that.
Well, she didn't write the smart woman part. I put that in. But you've trained in neuro-linguistic programming, quantum physics, and holistic healing. That's all very different from music.
Yes.
Why those in particular? You just always wanted to learn them, or you're about to go down a different path?
I wanted
career?
to learn them because a big part of what I was doing, so firstly deciding that I wanted to go for championships in karate, also because when I was very young I was doing kind of sales-based work as well, and it was really important to kind of reach out to people and really connect with them and see where they're coming from. And I basically was interested in it because it aligned with my work and it aligned with what I wanted to achieve. And so it was all around, like, all the big movements were happening, things like The Secret and all that. If you
Love
know
The
about
Secret,
that.
yes.
And
that's a movie and book everyone should go see and read.
and the personal development world was kind of like booming, and it was really in my face as well. And I just had to learn about it. I began exploring. I did a course with a couple of really amazing people. I'll even link you up and everything like that.
Oh,
and
would love to.
Yeah, just like these incredible people. And as soon as I did it, I just fell in love. I fell in love with what it meant for me, how you can literally reprogram your own mind, and you can help other people do the same for them to help them achieve anything they want, to let go of what's holding them back. And because I know my purpose in this life is always to be empower people to be themselves, and
I love that about you.
empower people to be themselves no matter what. So, and that can often include letting go what's holding them back or making them feel scared to be themselves. I knew it was a way that I could contribute. And so, yeah, I rolled with it and used it as a way to coach people. And
so you just originally did it because you just wanted to learn.
It was interesting.
I love
that.
that.
I was just obsessed with being like the best person I could be, and it was just another opportunity.
Yeah, I guess, remember guys, learning never stops.
Never stops, and it's really linked with psychology, so it was just very, very interesting to me.
So what was the quantum physics part of it for?
Yes.
That seems a bit different than, I can understand like the holistic healing and all that, but...
So if I was going to describe this like in a way to make it kind of, I guess, sound a little bit more woo-woo than... even more woo-woo than what it is.
Yes.
This is the kind of thing where you can literally do things that make you take quantum leaps, so have these enormous shifts in your life, often through really...
We're talking like energetically as well? Like that sort
energetically, even through like really small differences that can kind of, almost like propel you onto like a different path or a different trajectory. Can make you literally feel like you're warping time somehow. So, and like part of that is, manifestation, like, the energy that we exude and how we, control energy and how we can generate things for ourselves and for
Couldn't
other
believe
people.
in that more than I do.
Yeah. But, it's very, very interesting work. And I think more than anything in the work that I do with coaching people, it's more about asking the right questions to get the most meaningful answers to help people help themselves.
Yeah.
And that's a very down-to-earth way of describing what I do, and I think it's important to say it like that.
You are a very down-to-earth person, so I wouldn't expect anything less than that answer.
Yeah, true.
Well, she brought up coaching. That is the other side hustle, that she does. And I absolutely loved, I was checking out your website. You can go to beckyshortt.com.
Yeah, that's it.
.au.com.
Yeah.
And I had a little read of the bio and the about us, and I'm like, first of all, it's very entertaining reading your type of writing as well. Also the blog part of it as well.
Yeah,
like this
writing.
is really, really cool. Yes, I can see that. It comes out in the writing. I was like, I feel like she's talking to me. But amazing. I couldn't imagine a better coach as well. Like looking at even your Instagram page, everyone should go follow her Instagram page because it's just filled with beautiful motivational quotes and
Becky X Shortt with 2 T's.
Yes, don't forget the 2 T's. Otherwise you might not find her. But amazing Instagram page. Like if you want inspiration, everybody definitely go follow her.
Thank
I love
you.
some of the stuff that you write.
And I try to, it's interesting, I try to write for people I love. So I'm like, what does somebody I love need to hear? What do I need to hear? What do my clients need to hear? Or people like I connect with need to hear? So I'm always kind of like writing with someone in my heart, and then I find that it touches a lot of people.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get a lot of really nice messages back from that.
So when did you start this coaching business? Was it only over the last couple of years?
7 years ago.
7 years ago. Okay, wow.
Yeah, 7 years ago. I started getting my, actually probably, 7.5 years ago, started getting my first clients. I remember I started out working like really like not charging very much at all, but working with a couple of Indigenous Australian clients.
Oh, that's great.
Really looking to like, break, like some painful patterns like in their family, and just quit certain things. And like I remember starting that way and just feeling, wow, this is so meaningful. And then from there, like I just started telling people that I did it, and then it became real.
Yeah.
And it became what I did. Yeah.
Were you just promoting on social media at the beginning?
A lot of the time I would just tell people.
Yeah.
Just and I
word
shared
of
a
mouth?
few. And I shared a few blogs even back in the day as well.
That's great.
And then if people would reach out, or if they were curious about how I was going in karate, I would say, hey, I can show you a few strategies too.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of it was to do with the mind as much as the body.
Yeah, of course. I couldn't agree more in terms of that side of things, not just karate, but any martial arts.
Absolutely.
And how did you find like growing, your client base and stuff in the beginning? Was it, obviously it was word of mouth mostly in the beginning, but was it coming in like
and I think
quickly or?
No, not at all, because it wasn't something I was like too actively promoting. So it was always really slow and steady and on a needs basis. And I remember feeling like it wasn't like my ultimate livelihood. I remember just being like, if someone feels right, like if they feel like they want to work with me and it's a good fit, like I might coach them a free session. And I still do it to this day, like free session. Hopefully they never ever need another session, but also hopefully they still want one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do want to be paid eventually.
Yeah, that's right. And that's kind of, where that kind of that client kind of loyalty or
Yeah.
that client intake comes in. But I
So do you
remember
have, like-
running quite a few workshops back in the
yeah.
day, speaking at conferences, and so that would be one way people would be put in touch with me as well.
Yeah, and then hopefully have a private session.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think despite doing workshops, like even last year, I didn't run any because I'm just so in love with the one-to-one work.
Yeah,
I'm just so in
of
love with that.
course.
So it's where it's at for me. At the moment, it might change.
Who knows, yeah.
But right now, I think that's where I feel the most impact. So
Have you got like regular clients as well, or is
Yeah,
it
yeah.
more just the one-off
no.
stuff?
So like on a fortnightly basis, I'd probably have a couple of one-offs, and then that's sort of, it might be healing. If I'm working with young people, I often just do a one-off session to give them something they need. Occasionally, even on Facebook, and it sounds a little bit crazy, but if I see someone who's looking a little down in the dumps, instead of just letting it hang and like chucking a love heart or cryy face, I'll be like, hey, if you ever want real help with that, this is what I do.
That's fantastic.
And then if they need help, I will help, that young person out.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
And then I
forward.
got the regulars, and that's super fun, especially because it's usually a 3-month basis, and there is a ton that can happen in 3 months.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like your life can just change in 3 months.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
and the relationship that you must like form with them and
Oh,
know
yeah.
their story really, really well. That you can,
yeah, absolutely. Like the honest truth is often after sessions I just cry. I just feel so moved by
Aw.
like their progress or their breakthroughs. I literally just like take it into my body and I have a little cry, and then I'm on to the next one.
Does it ever get to you if it's like, a really heavy session and it might be a really sad story?
That's a good question. No.
Oh, that's
But-
good.
Yeah, but I'll tell you why. I think
You put
when-
your energy field up.
yeah, it's to be honest, I get really emotional because now I understand that it's part of everyone's story, and that what I'm hearing, it's not just a heartbreak, but it's a powerful part of the story, and it's going to be a compelling kind of challenge that somebody overcame, and it's actually probably linked to like their whole life purpose somehow, and it can turn into something beautiful.
that was deep. I love it.
sometimes when I get a bit teary, I'm just like, yeah, I can see that this means more than what you think it does now, and you like honor where they're at, but then you're also like, I know things are going to be okay, and I mean it. So that's why it doesn't get to me in a bad way.
Oh, love it. Everyone go check her out.
You're so sweet.
Yeah, I want a session. This sounds amazing.
Anytime, babe.
Oh,
Anytime,
thank you.
babe.
I just feel like I'm talking through my stuff now with you. Learning a lot about you.
Yeah.
The whole point of these interviews. And you have also written on your website, I actually thought this was quite funny, that if anyone seems overcritical or you feel overly like uncomfortable around them, then an awkward conversation may be the medicine. Can you please explain this to us?
my goodness.
Since you're an apparent like awkward convos expert, as she put it.
Yes, I'm an awkward combos expert. Oh my goodness. And it's also a really fun thing for me to talk about as well. So like, it's a saying, I don't think I made it up at all, but I've kind of probably changed up a few sayings, but like I believe, and I think I even said this today to somebody, that the quality of your life can often be measured by the amount of awkward conversations you're willing to have and endure. Because often like when we're not saying something, when we've got something on our chest, we just we sit in the awkwardness, we sit in the tension of our lives, and really, if we just got off our chest what we needed to say, if we said it to somebody and we say what we need to say, like they're going to react how we want them to react, instead of being like, I'm sorry, and making it all like worse. If you just say, hey, straight up, this is what's going on, this is how I feel, and it might be awkward at first, but often the outcome is really great. And if you don't get exactly what you want, at least you get a bit of confidence.
Yeah.
And
you've got something off your chest as well.
Yeah, that's right. And it's usually, it means a bit of a level up. So I highly recommend awkward conversations, especially if it's a thing that you're avoiding doing. And you feel the cringe and you do it anyway.
Well,
that's a free tip.
Exactly. You got to step outside that comfort zone.
Yeah.
Just in every area of life. I
Agreed, man.
completely agree with that.
Like what you're doing with your life.
Exactly. I never used to. When I was like around 14, I was like the shyest person you'd ever meet.
Yeah.
And then
look at you now.
Yeah.
Or through the engagement, the action, you're this person.
Oh, I am definitely an action taker. I don't like when I haven't made action. You know what I mean? You just feel like you done nothing.
Yeah. High achiever complex.
Yeah. It's a great thing. Even though you've already achieved so much in your career and your life, Becky, what else can we expect from you in the future?
Okay. So
hopefully some new tracks.
Definitely new tracks. Evadaze is going to be really big. I also have to say I've got a bit of a solo project coming up with music as well, so I will share that with you.
Good, I love your voice.
As it happens.
Put more out in the world.
So getting to explore a few different genres, doing a couple of collabs as well, which is really exciting.
You're going to go by Becky Shortt, or you're going to have like a stage name or something?
I've actually got a stage name. It's going to be...
Oh, you're going to reveal it, or we have to find out later? All right, that's all right.
Yeah.
I tried, guys.
But I think I might actually do it here first.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I'll do it
She's
here
going to come back.
Yeah. I love your energy, so I'd love to do it here first.
Thank you.
Yes, so there's going to be that. Just keep working with people. Like, honestly, literally every day of my life, I think, what would I change? What would I do differently? And I think no matter what I do, as long as, I'm inspiring people to, be themselves more than ever, show more of myself so nobody feels alone just by sharing the truth.
Yeah.
I think if I'm doing that through music or my coaching, I'm on track. And if that's scalable, if my music is heard by more people, if Evadaze and, what Wayne and I do, goes, really big, amazing. And if not, we're having so much fun every day writing as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're living your passion.
Yeah. Listen,
that's what matters.
I really have to give a shout out now because we call ourselves like a songwriting duo, but I really want to shout out, we've got an amazing drummer, Frank Perricone, who's just amazing.
That's a cool name.
Yeah, I know he got the cool name to start with, which is amazing. But I'm really hoping like the three of us can just tour and just really show off our songs. I was going to ask
about touring. Hopefully that's in the future.
We're actually meeting with a few people quite soon to do a bit of a showcase and hopefully hop on a few tours and then lead to our own where we're headlining as well. So
I'll come along.
Yes.
I'll watch.
That
I'll
would be
cheer.
amazing. Yeah.
I'll be the loudest cheerer there.
Yeah. So we're going through the process of meeting with some pretty cool,
Awesome.
important people who really believe in us, which is exciting.
Oh, well, keep me up to date, all right?
Yeah, I will.
As you said, come back on the show and reveal it all to us.
Yes.
And what advice would you give to our audience today who might want to follow their dreams of either in music or they want to coach themselves?
Yeah.
Not coach themselves, you know what I meant.
Yeah.
Do a coaching business themselves. Yeah.
Okay, so one bit of advice. I think anybody who's really, really going for something is likely going to be a high achiever, and they've probably got their own conflict. They could do literally anything and everything. And so when there is something you want to do, firstly, whatever your goal is, if it's worth it, it's worth waiting for.
Oh, I love that.
If it's worth it, it's worth waiting for. So if you're not willing to wait 25 years to do it, so for me, if I was like, this isn't my goal, by the way, but if I was like, I want to win like an ARIA award with Everdays.
That isn't your goal? Come on, girl.
So
I'm sure you would not say no to an ARIA award.
I would not say no. If I said, okay, would it be worth waiting 25 years for it? I'm like, yep, do you know what? If in 25 years time it was happening then, that would still be amazing. I wouldn't be like, oh, if I can't have it in a year, it's not worth it. So
can't have it tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. So firstly, it has to be worth waiting for. Otherwise, you might be doing it for the wrong reasons. And then from that place, you can give yourself permission to slow down. It's really counterintuitive, but slow down to speed up. By slowing down and being willing to take your time, you often improve your skills more than ever. You don't bum yourself out along the way for not being there. And, personally, and you can probably read about this in my blog, but when I started with Wayne a long time ago, the truth is I couldn't even sing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the truth.
Wow. Okay, you've come a long way.
Yeah, and I want people. I do want people to know that, because when you hear me sing, you'll be like, oh yeah, it's pretty good. But I couldn't, and I was told that I really needed to wait. I was told that you're not good enough yet. Songwriting's crap. Like, absolutely. And I actually wrote a list of what I was told. In fact, interestingly enough, one of the people who said that actually ended up being someone who's really worked with me on my music and ended up mixing and doing like a lot of stuff and being really invested in it in the end. But that same person also told me that I was nowhere near ready. And the truth is,
sort of grateful for that now?
Yeah.
Or were you like, I'm going to show you?
No, well, I never had the attitude. I remember thinking, because where I've always started in life, you never start amazing, not really, at anything. You always start from somewhere. And I remember writing it down and just saying, like, in the coaching world, I'm writing this down and sharing it because I know I won't be this way forever. and I'm willing to give it the time.
Yeah.
So for anybody who wants to achieve something, just be willing to slow down to speed up. If it's worth it, it's worth waiting for. And just counterintuitively, if you're slowing down, you probably end up, speeding up through the skill refinement that you need, knowing the nitty-gritty, the difference that makes a difference, and you learn to fall in love with it through the curiosity of what you're doing.
Oh.
Yeah, and you enjoy it.
You have the best answers. So good. Please come. I'd want you back on the show.
Yeah.
Just even if it's not even to promote your stuff, just come on and give us advice.
Anytime.
Just coach our audience.
That would be so fun for me.
Okay, regular segment for Becky Shortt. Well, we are unfortunately getting to the end of the interview, Becky. It's been a lot of fun. It's gone
so
way
fun.
too quickly.
It's been so fun. Thank you so much for having me.
You're
it's
very
just,
welcome.
It's an honor to be here, and you're an amazing woman. And just to be with an, fellow amazing woman
Exactly.
in our sisterhood is incredible. And I know you do a lot of work to support young people, and I'm really all about that too. So it's great.
You. Well, as a closing statement, and it was probably the most important question, and will help the youth.
Yes.
Knowing what you know now, what would you tell your 14-year-old self?
Okay.
I think she knew this question was coming up. Actually, since she knows about the book.
I know about the book, but I did not think about this question.
Book out now if everybody wants to grab a copy.
Yeah. I think it would be to just be radically kind and compassionate to people, because everything that hurts you, you just have to remember, like, the person who's hurting you is often very hurt themselves. And I think the sooner you can get that perspective, that clarity that, everyone's doing the best they can with what they know, I think that you can move past the hurt and move to understanding.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
You're going in the next book. Any good quotes? I'm like, yep, next book. Because I hope that there will be another one. Help make this one successful, guys. And if the audience want to contact you, find out what you guys are up to in the future, where should they go? Where should they go follow you?
Yeah, so definitely go to Evadaze Music. So at Evadaze Music on Facebook, at Evadaze Music on Instagram as well. You want to follow our Spotify, so straight up Evadaze. Check out our tracks. And of course, we've got our website as well, so evadaze.com, and we'll keep you posted there with anything upcoming. And I'm sure you'll see as well, and we'll come back on the show and tell you a little more.
Yeah, and you've also got BeckyShortt.com as
yes,
well.
Yes, if you want to see my coaching, BeckyShortt.com, or you can follow me on Instagram, which is at Becky X Short with 2 T's. I would just love to have you come along and have a chat, and
and
talk up in the
absolutely.
Talk in the comments, and spread the word, because anybody doing this kind of work, I think it's good to spread it. It's important.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Very, very welcome.
I cannot wait to have you on again.
Yes.
As I said, it's gone so quickly.
I know.
Time flies when you're having fun, right?
Absolutely.
But for everyone watching, as Becky just mentioned, go stream their music on Spotify and spread the word, because I feel like these guys are going to go so far, and I'm very privileged to have them on my show first.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Well, for now, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
See you later.